I'm the Wolf of Snow Hollow.
That is the worst wolf costume I've ever seen. I believe that's actually a fox.
I'm Foxy. Hello! I am Robert.
And I am Roberta.
My identical twin sister.
You can see the resemblance.
Today, we are covering the movie The Wolf of Snow Hollow.
It was made in 2020 and directed by Jim Cummings. It was also starring Jim Cummings.
And it was also written by Jim Cummings.
It's a lot of Jim Cummings.
Yes. But
He had his hands all over this film.
he did, and he kind of plays... I'm sort of dressed like him.
Yeah.
He's a policeman. His father is the sheriff. He's played by Robert Forster, who, wow, that guy's been around for a long time.
Was he in The Ring?
I don't think so.
Okay.
He was in the original Psycho.
Oh my god, okay.
He plays a psychologist. And he plays, most famously and most recently, he was on the Twin Peaks sequel reboot, yes. And he played the sheriff in that. He plays the sheriff in this movie, and he played Tim Allen's father, Bud, on Last Man Standing.
Incredible.
He's been around a long time. He's done a lot of things. This movie was filmed, and then they went into like a year of post-production, and sadly he passed away. This movie was released posthumously for him, and they included a nice little in memory of for the actor in the credits. But the irony is that the character, the sheriff in Snow Hollow, is dying. There's something wrong with him, and he's dying. So that's part of his son, John, I think his name is. Jim Cummings plays.
He's like taking care of him.
He's taking care of him. He's also, the son, is also divorced, and his wife is in one scene, his ex-wife is in one scene, and she's a horrid shrew. Kind of like Mom.
Oh, yeah.
Later years.
Wait. Mom?
The real Mom. Our real Mom.
Our mom?
Yeah.
You can't say that on camera.
I absolutely
Only
can.
at family reunions. Come on.
What else? He's got a teenage daughter, and we know what a handful they can be. I remember. And so he's got all the responsibility as sort of like second in command of the sheriff's department or the police department in Snow Hollow.
I love when a police department, you get to see their little inner workings. There's a lot of new horror things coming out where it's like a small police department that's like handling things, and they're dealing with like outside influences.
Interesting you should say small police department. At some point in the movie we figure out there's less than 900 people in Snow Hollow. I mean, there's tourists because there's a ski resort, right? Mm-hmm. But the residents, there's 800 some odd people. And they have a full-time police department of like 7 people, which is actually pretty large.
7 people is not that many people. What about vacation time?
Well,
how do these people go on vacation? There's 7 police officers. If 3 of them have conflicts, we got 4 people on. What if a murder happens?
When a murder did happen. A couple. That's what the movie's about.
Yeah, dead bodies.
Bodies start turning up,
yeah,
and obviously indications are that it's a werewolf. Hence the name.
Yeah, why didn't we think of that? Like,
I mean, the name of the movie is The Wolf of Snow Hollow.
Yeah, you're watching and you're like, what could it be that's killing all of these people?
Now, it's a contemporary movie. It's set in the present day.
They have cell phones. It's,
Oh, yeah. Yep. Radios, cop radios, they appear to work all the time.
They appear to work.
Well, I mean, there's a convenient scene where he calls somebody on the radio and he doesn't get an answer, but it turns out they heard him anyway. But
spoilers. Easy does it.
I'm not saying when it happens or what's going on.
Easy.
Anyway, the thing about Snow Hollow is they don't really have a lot of murders because it's a ski resort town. And everybody's happy when they're there on vacation.
Oh, these small towns. They always brag about their low murder rate. It's like, you don't have a lot of people. Of course you don't.
But they say we only have 1 or 2 murders a year, and that's actually a pretty
lot. Yeah,
that's a lot for less than 900 people. But I digress.
What's the percentage? 1 out of 900. Someone do math.
It's one.
It's a lot.
It's approximately 1/900th. Approximately.
That was good math, Robert.
This is a movie that is about. Well, first of all, everybody, it's contemporary. There's no supernatural overtones, like there's no witches or anything walking around. So everybody's like...
Faucets aren't turning on by themselves.
The cops are like, it's not a werewolf. It's either a wolf or it's a maniac human. No such thing as werewolves. Blah, 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 blah. But, man, all indications are... There's a friggin' werewolf out there.
Ow!
And it's killing people. Ow. He's collecting evidence, but he's dealing with his sick father.
I feel that. I feel like when you're distracted, it's really hard to tell when there's a werewolf because you're dealing with personal shit.
He's dealing with his sexually overactive teenage daughter.
He needs to just let her do her thing.
He's dealing with an ex-wife that's a biatch.
He needs to let her do her thing.
He's dealing with murders. He's dealing with people saying, when are you going to solve the murders and stuff. This is a movie...
Those people need to relax.
While there is a werewolf around killing people, it's a movie about a man who is, by the way, an alcoholic.
Is that a spoiler?
No. I mean, they address that pretty quickly. When I say alcoholic, he's an alcoholic. One of the first scenes is
it's
him.
Not a spoiler. I'm just ribbing you. I'm ribbing you.
It's him attending an AA meeting, and
it's not a good.
But he kind of unravels. We get to see the Jim Cummings character sort of unraveling and worrying about everything that's on his plate.
Do you think he was drunk on set? Like, I'm in character.
Method acting? He might have been. I don't know.
What are your thoughts?
Yes, I'm going on record saying that he probably drank like a fish on set so that he could act drunk. Is that slander? I don't know.
Oh, you're so paranoid. He's not coming after you.
They call her Detective Julia, but
air quotes.
She's wearing a uniform just like everybody else in the department. Ricky Lindholm plays Detective Julia, I forget her last name in this show. Now, she is a tall drink of water, and they made her, I think she's a gorgeous woman. They made her look coppy, they pulled her hair back, and they didn't put much makeup on her and stuff, but she's a really attractive woman. And she plays... Maybe she's third fiddle, not second fiddle. If Jim Cummings' character is second fiddle to the sheriff, she's third fiddle. But, she has the brains in the outfit. Most of the other people are dumb.
She's a tall glass of water and she has brains.
She was in she was in a movie called Fun Size that I love. She's in another horror movie called the remake of Last House on the Left, which is a classic. The original, at least, was a classic. And she's done a lot of TV. She was on The Big Bang Theory for one. She does a lot of guest spots on TV. And she's pretty good. So, I don't want to spoil anything, but this is more of... it's horrifying. I mean, there's body parts missing from the victims, and you get to see the werewolf fairly early on. It's not like they show you a lot, but they show you the werewolf, and it's my kind of... I like werewolves like these because it's a it's a tall bipedal werewolf. It's not a werewolf that goes on all
fours. It's not a Twilight, werewolf.
Like, I didn't like the American Werewolf in London because he walked around on all fours almost all the time. I like a werewolf, which is a man or a woman that turns into a wolf, and I like him to walk on two legs and be tall and scary looking and stuff. And you get to see this werewolf, so
They didn't shy away from it.
They didn't. They don't. It's not like they turn the camera on it for 10 minutes, so you're left wondering exactly what you saw.
But they didn't make him like a shadow that just like runs by, And
it's a mystery. Who's the werewolf?
Yeah. Because you know that werewolves turn into a werewolf at the full moon. So
Well, people turn into the werewolf during the full moon, and so that whether it's he's the guy is like, not a werewolf, goddammit, and they find wolf hair and all kinds of stuff on the victims.
Basically like a witch hunt for a werewolf.
But it's a more like a police investigation for a werewolf, because they really are trying to follow the chain of legitimate evidence. It's a good mystery.
As a police officer yourself,
yes.
How do you feel they investigated the werewolf?
Half of them were completely incompetent. Detective Julia has the brains in the outfit. She's good.
Okay. And how do you think they were about the evidence collection? Did they wear gloves? Did they do anything that really upset
Oh yeah,
you?
they had whole hazmat suits and stuff on. Let's tell you what. Let's examine that by doing some lines from the movie.
You want people to stop talking shit about the police? Do better police work.
That's sage advice. Her head is gone.
Everyone laughs until she lays out the crime photos.
And then they don't laugh anymore.
I said that.
Right. Hey, officer, if you do find him, don't arrest him. Shoot him. Shoot him until you can see the ground through his face. That's good police work. Little tidbit. The movie poster for the movie The Love Witch, which I reviewed last year.
Which is basically softcore porn.
Pretty much. That movie poster is hanging on the deputy's daughter's wall, Jenna's wall. It's in her bedroom.
I didn't notice that, and I'm not surprised that you noticed that. You would notice.
It's like you said, softcore porn. Let's give this a pumpkin rating.
Pumpkin ratings! It's definitely gotta go.
Hold this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop short of going a full 5. I'm gonna do a 4.5 pumpkin rating.
It's a horror movie.
It's a horror. It's a mystery. There's comedy in it too. But I'm gonna withhold that last half pumpkin. You're just gonna have to watch the film to see why.